Hartois and Pravit. Welcome to the first official video walkthrough for a product that we're using on the new SUM site. So today we'll be showing you how to set up a photo gallery on your SUM pages. So what we're doing is we're using a plugin called Photonic, which essentially, after a bit of setup, allows you to sync a photo gallery page on your SUM site to your Picasa web albums. So essentially how it would look would be something similar to this, but we're working on the Australian side at the moment, which I'll just show you right now. So here you'll see that on the SUM Australia page we've got a gallery page set up, and these are all galleries which are on our Picasa site at the moment. And as you'll see that if we do click on one, for example, the SUM Perth one, will shortly get a outline of all the photos that are in the gallery. And as you can see, it's all incorporated into the SUM page. It doesn't redirect you to any Picasa or third-party sites. And even if you go one step further in that, you'll see how it enlarges the image also if anyone wants to download it, and so on and so forth. So you may be wondering why do we want to do this? Why do we want to use, I guess, this plugin on the SUM site rather than just uploading the photos individually onto our server and putting the photos individually on our page? Essentially, there's a few reasons why we want to do this. First of all, we're storing all the photos onto Picasa, which is an external server in a sense. So in that case, we're actually creating a faster user experience for our users by not slowing down our own SUM server. And another reason, as I mentioned before, is that it automatically syncs our photo or our gallery page. So now we don't actually have to go into the gallery page every time we upload new photos and put the new album onto the site. It will just automatically happen through our Picasa gallery. So without wasting any more time, I guess let's get into it and get this photo gallery set up on our own sites. So the first thing we want to do is go to our dashboard, and we want to go to our pages outline, have a look at all our pages, see what's there, and actually set up a gallery page for ourselves. So what I'll actually do here is head over to the SUM Australia site and show you how to do it, and we'll set it up using SUM Australia's page as an example, and that will give us, I guess, the best examples for you to use on your own website. So as I said before, head over to the pages area, have a look at all the pages there, and I guess the first thing is to make sure they don't actually have a gallery page set up at the moment. So we don't, there's nothing there at the moment. Click on Add New, create a page called whatever you like really. What we'll do is create one called Gallery, and the usual setup in a sense. At the moment it's called Gallery 2 for us, but we can always change that to Gallery later down the track. And we'll just publish that for now, just to make sure that page is set up. And that's essentially the first step that started on our gallery page. As you can see, what I've done here is actually gone back and changed that now just to make it a bit neater on the edit permalink area, and actually changed it to Gallery rather than Gallery 2 or something similar. And a good thing to keep in mind is actually to when you post or pages, is to keep an eye on what this permalink is, because that's essentially what people are going to see, or they're going to write into their web browsers at the top here when they want to search your site. So anyway, as you can see, we've created a gallery page in English at the moment. What we'll do is go and duplicate the gallery page into Ukrainian. One thing to remember is that when you do duplicate a page, essentially what you're telling WordPress to do is that anything you write on the English page is going to duplicate to Ukrainian. Now, not all the time. In this case, you don't always want to do that. Obviously, as you can see, the gallery here is in English, and what we want to do in Ukrainian is make it Halaria or whatever you want independently for your own gallery page. So here what we'll do is translate our translation independently, and here we can go and change it to once again we can go down the track and edit our permalink to whatever we want. At this stage it's gallery 2, but we can always change that later. So we'll update that now and create the gallery pages for us. Okay, now that is created, the next thing that we have to do is go and set up our Photonic. Okay, so as you can see, I've now gone through and changed that to gallery 2 with my Ukrainian translation just to keep it nice and neat. And the next thing we want to do is head over to our Photonic settings. I'll just open up a new tab for us here, so it's just easier for us to go in between the two windows. Now here in the Photonic settings, you're going to have a whole range of different options and settings that you can actually play around with. I'm not going to go through all the settings and all the layout options with you today. What I'll do is I'll leave that up for you all to play around with and get the own personalized feeling that you want to get on your photo gallery. What we're really interested in at the moment is the Picasa setup. Now, as you can see at the top here also, if you have a Flickr account or a 500px, even Instagram, any of these, you can set these up all individually. But as I mentioned today, we are going to focus on setting up a Picasa account. So once you click on the Picasa settings, you'll it is fairly simple. You just got to follow the instructions here. The first thing you have to do is enter your Google Client ID, and to do that you actually have to create this create one from the Google API console. So to do that, you just click on the link and you get redirected to your Google API settings page here. Sometimes you might not get into it straight away. You'll notice that you'll have to log in with your either Zoom account or your Google account to get in there. However, once you are in there, you just click on Create Project. And this will actually help get you to set up your API so that we can get them to sync between the two, between Zoom and Google. So here you'll see API project. What you're trying to find now is, okay, what you want to do is you might actually end up on a page like this, which is your dashboard overview, and you'll see all the settings here. What essentially we want to go to is your API access, as you're trying to get that API access code and create a client ID. So here you pretty much enter any information that you want. So we're going to put in Photonic Zoom Australia, for example. You can have anything really, and our homepage URL. And that's just some basic information that they want about your site. Okay, so once you've entered that basic branding information, you just click on Next, and you want to make sure that web application is selected there, and also that this is quite important that you do enter this information, that you have your site or host name. Change it to HTTP, put in zoom.org/ whatever your site. So as we're using Australia as an example, it will have zoom.org/au. That will disappear at the top there, and the redirect URI will automatically come in down the bottom. So make sure that the URI is the same as your website's URL. After you've done that, create your client ID. Now here you're going to have all your client ID for web applications information. This is all important information that you'll need to find out. You'll have your client ID here, your email address, which is just for this API access that we're using at the moment, so you don't really need to take note of that. Your client secret, which is quite important, and also your redirect URIs, which that should definitely be to your website address. Okay, so now that once you have this information here, we want to go back to this Photonic settings page, and you'll see the next step when you're setting up your Picasa settings is it will actually tell you, so double check this, so make sure that you add http /zoom.org/au as your, or whatever your website is, as your redirect URI. Now, as you notice, I actually made a mistake here by putting www dot. So to do that, we just got to come back here and edit the settings and take out the www dot. Just change that to http://sum.org. You'll notice that this has been changed correctly there. So going back to the settings now, making sure that the address is correct. Next, you need to put in your Google Client ID. So what we'll do is go in here, copy the ID, and entering it right here. So now that's in there, next you want to enter your Google Client secret. And this is pretty much just, once again, you only need to enter this if you have private photos that you want people to log in to see, so it's not always necessary, considering a lot of our photos on our Picasa pages are just some ones, so they shouldn't be set to private anyway. However, for the purposes of this exercise, we'll put it in. So the client secret's right here. And then further down, you've got some other options that you can either select or deselect. Once again, leave it up to you guys to choose whether you want them set how you want and anything like that. It's up to you guys to play around with. Same as login text if you want people to log in to see photos, etc. So once that's done, you're pretty much set up, good to go. So you want to save your Picasa settings. Next, you can go down here and have a look at your Picasa photos in page view settings. So that's essentially how we saw it earlier, where pretty much the gallery page that we had set up, that it had the outline of the galleries, how you want that to look. So here you can change all different settings, whether you want to display titles using HTML or jQuery or below the thumbnail. So once again, it's really up to you guys, but for the purposes of this exercise, I've just set up for below the thumbnail. And once again, you can change your colors and images and all that sort of stuff. Once you've essentially set it up how you want it to set up, make sure that you save the settings. And once again, in the pop-up view as well, you can change the settings how you see fit. And that's essentially it for the setup of it. Now what you want to do is actually go back to your pages page and put in the code to read all the gallery, all the Picasa gallery information. So here we are in our pages overview. Once again, you'll see the gallery page. Go in and edit that page. Here we are in our editor screen. Now all we want to do here is essentially what we're doing is adding media. We're adding a photo gallery. So to do that, you click on Add Media, and you'll see a Photonic button here on the left-hand side. Click on that. And here you will see a whole bunch of different Photonic galleries you can include. Since we've only set up the Picasa one at this stage, we'll just click on Picasa. Here you want to insert your Google ID. So for us, what we want to install, put in there. What we want to put in there is our full Google email, whether that's at sum.org email or your Gmail account or whatever you're using to upload all your photos into your Picasa account. So for us, we're using sum.oz at sum.org, and we want to display albums, not the photos. Here you can actually put in if there's a specific album you want to put up. So this would be helpful if you want to put in the photos into a post, for example, rather than a gallery page. And so on. You can actually change how many photos you want to show and the thumbnail size. This is quite important because see how it's defaulted to 75 pixels. That's actually quite small in the scheme of things. So I've worked out that quite a nice size is actually 125 pixels. Now you'll see underneath that is a shortcode preview. Now there's two options here. You can either copy this shortcode and just put it into your page wherever you like, or you can actually just press insert into post, and what that will do is actually insert the media into your post. So now once you've done that, that's pretty much it. You are good to go. We've put it into the English version obviously at this stage. What we can do is update that page now. page has been updated, and we'll view that page also just to see if it's ended up properly. And as you can see, it has. So our all our galleries are in there from Picasa. And we can click on one just to have a look to see how the rest of the settings have come up also, and you'll see that it's all working properly there. And don't forget, one other thing you have to do is, now that it's in the English version, you have to go and put it into the Ukrainian version also, so that you have it on both languages. So what we'll do is just quickly do that also. Photonic. Shouldn't take too long, it's just my internet connection here in Sydney is not the best. Okay, there it is there. Picasso once again. User ID. Albums 125. Insert into post. Now obviously you didn't have to do that either. You could actually go and just copy that the shortcode from the English version and into the Ukrainian one, but it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, so each to their own really. And that's pretty much it. So as you can see, we've got a Ukrainian, we've got a gallery that's syncing now from our Picasa galleries. And as I mentioned before, we don't have to go and continuously update this page or automatically sync once we upload a gallery onto our Picasa albums through Google. One other thing to remember that now that this gallery page is up is to include it into your menu bar at the top. At the moment we haven't included that on the Australian page, but soon we will, and we can include it wherever we want really, even make a little box on the right hand side, which I think we're working on the moment. And that's pretty much it. So have fun, enjoy. Obviously, as I mentioned before, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a buzz. What I'll do is I'll put all the details on here also, and we're actually working on some exciting stuff on the webmasters page, whether we're actually considering putting up a support forum so that everyone can see what issues or solutions they're having with different things on the site. Jakiu and Harituis.